witches and non-witches too. You don't have to be a witch to come here and dive into some decks. If you're a card enthusiast, if you're a diviner or an oracle fiend, I welcome you to my channel and to an unboxing of the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. And I have never even heard of this oracle before. Here, I'm changing things up. I'm going center stage today. So yeah, the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, and shout out to Spirit Dreams shop in or near, I think it's in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where I was last week, and found this deck that I have never even heard of before. I was actually standing in the checkout line. The person before me it was taking a while for some reason, and I'm like getting impatient, and I just had a couple little things, and I looked down. I had already looked at all the cards on their display, except for this one. I looked down, my eyes went to it. It was on the bottom of an end cap, and it's like, okay, my Leo went, ooh. So I ran over and grabbed it and was thankful that the person in front of me was taking such a long time. This is Astrology Cards to Illuminate Your Life, Carolyn Smith and John Astrop. And one of the things I found so attractive is that there are many decks for moons, like there are many decks about cats, but not many about dogs, and not many about the sun. So here we go. This is by Red Feather Publishing. I think I have one or two other Red Feather decks. Let the radiant sun guide your life. The powerful orb of the life-giving sun has been worshipped from time immemorial. Its regular passage across the sky was used by the ancients to predict events, and this became the astrology we know today. Now, with this beautifully illustrated deck, you too can follow the sun's path across the heavens and use its light to help guide your life. The oracle has 7 suits. Each represents a significant planet as it moves through the astrological zodiac. So the inner planets, that is Sun through Saturn. By shuffling the deck and selecting cards, you will find guidance on any question. This fun-to-use system will shed light on all your life issues. 84 stunning and symbolic cards, 144-page illustrated guidebook, accurate and perceptive readings. We don't have the copyright on the back, and we have this little ribbon pull so that the box slides out. Sturdy, nice packaging, excellent book. We have sort of toned images of the cards, but not full color. And then here are the cards in their little trays. So we can see that this one, the number 1, is Sun in Aries, so I can tell that group needs to go on top. I'm not all that fond of the splitting the deck in half trays, because you have to kind of guess how many cards go in each. And the box is just plain. All right. I think, well, let's look for the copyright. And that is 2002 and 2018. So this is the 2nd edition. It says this edition copyright Edison Books Limited, except it says Red Feather on the box. Copyright Designs and Patents Act. All right. It's a trademark of Schiffer. Very confusing about publishers anymore. Let's look at the backs. Let's zoom in. Now we will see if my plan about being in the center actually works. It's not going to work. Off to the side, Luna. That's okay. Right. So here are, here are the card backs. Wow. I tried to white balance my camera before I started. There. So then my big face isn't reflecting on the cards. All right. We have Sun in Aries, and I am going to go to the book briefly here because I want to show you just sort of how they are visually organized. So the ones for the Sun have an inner frame like this. The moon is like this, Mercury. So you can see that the images are divided. Venus, it's not divided at all. Mars is 3 sections. Jupiter's a diamond. Saturn is split half and half. So yeah, visually they've just chosen to organize things that way. I'll try to keep my hands out of the way so it doesn't do that bumpy thing. And I think I can bring you in even closer. You can see every little speck of lint on my cover here, if you want. All right. So here is Sun in Aries, assertion. And I love, you know how much I love keywords. And as an astrologer, everything is keywords. So it's nice to see an astrological deck with keywords on it. Here's the Sun in Taurus, acquisition. So we've got the little, symbols in the upper little window kind of part, and then you see a couple. Sun in Gemini, versatility. There's a lot of symbology in these that I'm hoping they go into detail about in the book. Resourcefulness is Sun in Cancer. Look at the beautiful designs here. Fortune is Sun in Leo. Interesting. Just a very interesting to boil Leo down to one keyword with the Sun in Leo. I don't know that fortune would be it, but it's very interesting for me as an astrologer. It's causing me to, really focus in a new way, and I appreciate that. Sun in Virgo is health. Yes. Look at the sigil up here, the glyph. Harmony is Sun in Libra. Sun in Scorpio is endurance. Ooh, that's good. Sun in Sagittarius is enthusiasm. Yes. Sun in Capricorn is achievement. That's pretty standard. In Aquarius, it's idealism. Okay, that I usually think of idealism as a Neptunian, Piscean thing. Let's look at Pisces. Vision, okay? But idealism is, holding things to the highest standards, to the standard of an idea that you have. So there's the Aquarian part, because Aquarius is an air sign that rules the intellect and the ideas that we have. But idealism is just sort of slapping on the rose-colored glasses and seeing everyone through that sort of illusion, and is a Piscean thing in my mind. But anyway, having it applied to Aquarius, I can make that work, and I appreciate it. And then Pisces, Sun in Pisces is vision, the little links there. All right, now we go on to the moon, and you see the division, like 2/3, 1/3. Protection is moon in Aries. Moon in Taurus, exaltation. Yes, that is the sign of its exaltation. See, I would probably go with stability. Moon in Gemini, adaptability. Moon in Cancer, friendship. Moon in Leo, appreciation. Ooh. Moon in Virgo, order. Yes. Moon in Libra, companionship. Moon in Scorpio, power. Oof, yes. Moon in Sagittarius, optimism. In Capricorn is practicality. Aquarius is independence, yes. And in Pisces, empathy. Those all very accurate. Now we're moving on to Mercury, where it's divided diagonally. And there's Hermes himself. Hermes being the Greek name, Mercury is the Roman. So Mercury in the signs. Mercury in Aries is restlessness, restless mind. Mercury in Taurus, resistance. Mercury in Gemini, excitement. In Cancer, intuition. Yes. Okay. And, with the way I look at things, because I'm a natal astrologer, when someone has a Mercury in Cancer, the planet represents how their mind works. And when your mind, planet ruling your mind, is in a water sign, it says that your emotions color your mental faculties. But this makes it a more positive thing. It gives you this attribute of intuition. Mercury in Leo, drama. In Virgo, caution. See, I don't know about that. Mercury in Capricorn would be caution, but Mercury rules Virgo, and Mercury in Virgo just means the ability. I would put analysis there, but caution also works. Okay, in Libra, influence. Okay. In Scorpio, extremism. Sagittarius, discovery. Mercury in Capricorn is organization. Yes, that makes a lot of sense too. In Aquarius, originality. And in Pisces, inspiration. Yes, again, wonderful. Now we have Venus through the signs, and Venus is just one big frame. In Aries, we get lust. In Taurus, we get romance. See, I would think might have put sensuality. More Venus in Leo's romance. Okay. In Gemini is flattery. Okay. In Cancer is birth. In Leo, affair. Virgo, discrimination. Yes, being picky. In Libra, indecision. Scorpio, secrets. Sag is flirtation. Capricorn is convention. Okay, so because Venus can represent our taste, what kind of taste we have in things, and this would be conventional taste. Okay, in Aquarius we have detachment. It also represents how you show affection. So in Aquarius it would be detached, not demonstrative like that. And in Pisces, submission. All right, like I said, tall order to boil things down to one keyword for a planet in a sign. So I'm not finding anything that doesn't work. It's just some of them are kind of surprising to what I'm used to. Mars in Aries, impulsiveness. Yes, so we have Mars with the 3 segments. In Taurus is defense. Now, we also had, all right, so the moon in Aries was protection. And Mars in Taurus is defense, Mars being the ruling planet of Aries. So that's interesting. Protection and defense do have 2 different connotations. Protection is kind of like something that you set up and are behind, you know. Defense is more like active in my mind, and Mars is active. Decision in Gemini. In Cancer, quarrel. In Leo, egotism. Oh yeah, baby. In Virgo, criticism. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mars in Virgo is ouchy. Mars in Libra, choice. Okay. In Scorpio is revenge. Yes. In Sagittarius is domination. Okay, I can make that work out if I think about Sagittarius as being like sports, you know, competitions of that sort of philosophical competitions, which is sports. And okay, authority is Mars in Capricorn. Indeed, it could also be ruthlessness. That might be more Saturn and Pluto. And Mars in Aquarius is rebellion, absolutely, or revolution even. Sorry, I keep hitting like a hangnail here. It's driving me crazy. Mars in Pisces is escape, yes. Jupiter. So we see the diamond format. Look at the palmistry here. In Aries, it is enterprise. All right. In Taurus, it's status. Okay, see, I might put acquisition here because it talks about sort of expanding your material goods. And acquisition was the sun in Taurus, I thought. Yeah. See? Interesting. Jupiter in Gemini is bluff. In Cancer is speculation. Now see, that's Leo. In Leo it's publicity. That makes sense. In Virgo is patience. Okay. In Libra it's negotiation. That makes sense too. In Scorpio it's manipulation. Principle in Sagittarius. Control in Capricorn. All right. And innovation in Aquarius. Seduction in Pisces. Fascinating. These could be also some more arcane meanings. Pardon me. All right, Saturn now in Aries is risk. See, now that I would look at as ambition. Well, Saturn in Taurus, ostentation. That's perfect. In Gemini is concentration, yes. In Cancer is charity. In Leo, generosity. See, I would just never think of Saturn as the thing that makes you generous. That would be Jupiter. Saturn is stinginess on its own, so just putting it in Leo doesn't make you generous. Yeah, so interesting. Saturn in Virgo is isolation. In Libra, devotion. Yeah, that makes sense. In Scorpio, inheritance. Yes. Sagittarius, fulfillment. In Capricorn, riches. In Aquarius, eccentricity. And in Pisces, loss. Okay, wow. Fascinating stuff. Let's go to the book while I'm still zoomed in. So we have it attributed text and cards copyright to Carolyn Smith and John Astrop. I want to see about the artist first. Bibliography and acknowledgments. Let's see if there's an about the artist. Picture credits. Authors acknowledge the following sources of collage material for use in card images. Alchemy, Heck Pictorial Archive of Art and Architecture. Okay, so they've gone to some historical things to make these collages. Authors acknowledgments. All right, I want to know who the author is. So we have this thing of the sun and his general and particular fignifications, where they make the S's look like F's. So this is very arcane, and I'm not going to read that. The Sun Oracle is a unique system based on 84 illustrated cards describing the meaning of Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn in the 12 houses and 12 signs of astrology, and sets out a clear and simple means of remembering and developing the interpretation. As in horary astrology, the Sun Oracle does not use the outer planets. Horary is a system of astrology where you set a chart to answer a specific question. So I would say, I lost my blah, blah, where is it? Look at the time, set a chart for that moment, and then it's a whole different system of reading the chart. Now, this used to be the only system of astrology. It does not use the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Astrology can span the just for fun star sign columns of the magazines and the life-changing discovery of one's inner path, and so can the Sun Oracle. The depth of interpretation is enormous. Beginners will enjoy gaining simple answers to questions using keywords alone, while a professional can use the cards to give in-depth psychological yearly readings. Instructions for giving readings start on page 124. Start at the level you feel comfortable with and enjoy the insight and the powers of the sun. All right. Understanding symbols, reading the future, the language of astrology, so you get the symbols for the signs and the planets. So you can get a nice basic foundation. I would caution you, though, because these meanings really do differ as far as the keywords go from standard modern astrological keywords, I would probably not go to this as your first learning tool to learn modern astrology. So qualities associated with the houses, planets, and signs. So we have the houses. Now, I'm interested to see how they bring the house in. All right. Looking at the birth chart for someone with Sun and Scorpio in the third house, taking the keywords detailed in the chart gives the following clues. All right. I want to see how to do this with the cards, though, because they don't have cards for houses. We have a description of the 7 planets, then an in-depth description of the houses, the 12 signs, and then the oracle cards. To make recognition of the 7 planetary suits in the deck of 84, artist Carolyn Smith has given each suit a different representation. And you don't have to rely on that because the symbol for the planet and the sign are actually on the card. All right. Sun, the suit of fortune. All right, sun occupations, sun affinities. And then we go into, so let me look at the readings and see if they talk about using them to have a house. Oh, that's why you could do a reading like this. And that's when you need the interpretation of the house as the category. All right, and then they have sample readings. We have a horary reading. Interesting. This is... All right, to make this reading, shuffle all the cards, deal the cards face down in the same circle, then turn upwards only the cards covering the house positions that relate to the question. For example, ask about questions of finance and possessions, the 2nd house position card, about home and family, the 4th house, and the 1st house always represents the person asking the question. Very interesting there. Other types of reading, a grand trine reading. So here's the fire houses. All right. Let's do a reading. Where's my lighter? I will use matches to light up my charcoal and zoom you back in so you're not looking at a black hole here. All right. I love lighting charcoals. Did you light? There it goes. Okay. Well, that fires up. Let's see how these suckers shuffle. It's definitely a thick deck. I mean, the card stock is nice. But it's not too much of a struggle to shuffle them. You just got to kind of go slowly so you get the first ones down below. Yeah, that works. I feel like they'll loosen up as we go. So what do we ask? I want to ask a topical question. No, I'm not going to ask a topical question. Okay, so I take it back. These aren't that easy to shuffle, and I'm seeing that they're getting bowed as I'm shuffling them. So that's not so good. And again, this could be one of those publishers that doesn't publish many decks, so they're still kind of getting their shit together as far as what stock is good. Let's do it this way. Then we'll do it this way. And this way. Divide and conquer. And then we'll be done. All right. Now, let's do a little quick blessing too. Oh, heck it. Just put it on the charcoal. And blessed with the elements, and I would like to take a moment to invite in my allies and ancestors, guides and guardians, to come and play with me. Play with this deck with me. Help me to get good information for my viewers. And in thanks, I offer you fresh water and the spirit of divination, the fire of Azrael. All right. It's definitely an easy deck to hold and shuffle this way. It's not too big. So not too many complaints. 84 cards is going to be a handful no matter what you do. All right, I'm going to go for the 6-card spread that I've been working with recently. There's the first one. And we are going to ask what we need to do in order to thrive. Not merely survive, but thrive, to accept the lessons that are coming to us, to be able to see what they mean for us personally as well as us collectively, and to help us navigate these times. And there's the second, third ones, and fourth ones. Okay, so I'm going to take this first one as just sort of the theme, and we've got restlessness here. Now I'm going to do these 3. So how do we deal with our restlessness? That is Mercury in Aries, and that's setting the tone. How do we deal with our restlessness in these times? Well, we have Mercury in Capricorn, which is organization, all right? And these 3 are really kind of laying out the issue as well. So we have organization, egotism, and extremism. Here's what's going on. Let's see here. Well, let's look some things up. I mean, I'm definitely hooking in intuitively, but let's go ahead and look them up to see how the book performs for us. Mercury in Aries. So we have the card, Mercury means change. Aries is self-will. So we do get separate keywords for each, the sign and the planet. We get the glyphs, Mercury and Aries, and then a little description. The classical figure of Mercury dashes across an urban landscape. In the sky, the sun is a compass indicating the ultimate in creative possibilities and the multitude of directions in which Mercury can travel. Personal Mercury-Arians are decisive and active thinkers, fond of debate and argument. This means if you have Mercury and Aries in your birth chart. Mentally, they tend to be competitive and impulsive, making decisions quickly and a little one-sidedly. With Mercury in this position, there's always a danger that one might have too many irons in the fire and thus waste a great deal of mental and physical energy. This card describes someone who is probably quite articulate and bases most actions on good thinking and logic. With a higher than average intelligence, people with this planet and sign combination have an ability to express themselves verbally, aggressively, which will be important to them in any kind of achievement. However, natural curiosity and the ability to grasp quickly the essence of things leads to a restless existence and a need to constantly be on the move. Tiring quickly of project after project, people with Mercury and Aries are on an eternal search for new stimulation. Negatively, because of the sheer overactivity of the mind, the Mercury-Arian is prone to irritability and temper, and has a need always to have the last word in any argument. When this card is drawn, it indicates a great need for the questioner to scribble down thoughts and ideas on paper. This could set the inquirer on the road to becoming a writer of some kind. The restlessness card can sometimes suggest a long drawn-out dispute, even with much correspondence. And then it has a little blurb for events. Research or detective work, competitive written work or discussion, taking up creative writing, a big argument, spontaneous communication, contact with the media. So I think this can talk about just sort of the restlessness of mind that we're feeling collectively now, that we've got this, I know I'm finding it hard to just settle and focus on one thing and carry something through. So Mercury is mercurial. That energy is changeable energy, and in Aries it's aggressively and in the now. So we're in upheaval. Mercury in Capricorn says I'm going to try to organize my mind try to control my mind, structure is a better word, structure my mental activity. And it's kind of hard. I wish that they would boil it down to something a little more pithy. Okay, let's just go to when this card is drawn. Mercury change, Capricorn, duty and perseverance. The farm scene may seem to depict the simple life, but only a rigid routine and application to duty enables the tangible fruits of the labors to be achieved. All right, when this card is drawn, it indicates that hard, conscientious work is required in order to achieve long-term aims or solve an immediate problem. A need for extreme patience. So I'm going to read from the events thing. A need for extreme patience, discussion about discipline and control, taking a position of responsibility, working with someone famous. All right, all of that really makes sense. So the need for extreme patience is what is happening in a pandemic. Then we have egotism, Mars in Leo. And we certainly have that going on, don't we? Oy, do we ever. A strange bird, half cockerel, half man, crowned, stands proudly for all to see. Above is the Leo sun and a royal Egyptian scarab to show the eminent position of the cockerel. A dramatic performance, a great creative enterprise, forcing oneself into the lead, bullying others. Ooh, so yeah, we've got this, that we, okay, what was the Mercury thing that I just read? It said, need for patience. A need for patience, but we've got this bullying and extreme ideas going on. Extremism, people being aggressively egotistical, aggressively about me, right? While some are trying to be patient. And then we've got extremism on this side. So we've got this egotism and extremism. Let's look at Mercury in Scorpio. Change under the influence of self-control and regeneration. A violent verbal outburst, news of death. The solving of a great problem, discussion of a deep life problem, a drastic change of opinion. So this lays it out, that we're having to be patient, that we're just kind of stopped. You know, our minds are jumping all over the place because nothing's moving, because we feel restricted mentally, and we're being taxed. You know, the need for patience is so strong and so drawn out that it's wearing us down. And then we've got these egotistical, egocentric babies going to extremes, and what are we hearing about? Death. All right. Then we've got secrets, bridging between organization and egotism. This is Venus in Scorpio. All right. The inscrutable winged phoenix, the head of a ram indicating the Martian link with the sign of Aries, is a symbol of the deep secrets of the past. Surrounding the Sphinx are knots, glyphs, and keys to many mysteries. All right. A secret liaison. Okay, wait a minute here. Describe someone. So they don't tell you what those symbols mean. That makes me sad. A secret liaison, a secret love, a passionate love affair. Money comes to a partner, a shared inheritance, an expression of extreme jealousy. All right. Venus in Scorpio can be domineering love, expressing affection in forceful ways, forceful, domineering ways. We can also look at Scorpio as far as regeneration and transformation, that how we express affection is being transformed. It's going to extremes, but it's also being transformed. So, and this can also talk about social. You know, Venus is the social urge and social niceties. We're having to be very private, keep ourselves in private and not be social. We're isolating. Venus in Scorpio means all of those things. And so our social interactions have been transformed, and we need to transform them. This is the bridge between, you know, needing to be patient and running into these egotistical people. It's like, well, here's just the new way we're going to be social. And then we've got the sun in Aries, which is assertion. So the egotism and extremism. We've got the people that are willing to be careful and socially distance. And then we've got the knight and dragon speak for themselves. This card indicates a quality of reckless heroism and a refusal to be deterred from battle. Sudden acts, times requiring impulsive courage, an unexpected challenging situation, a need for quick action or defense of one's position. So, I mean, people are definitely being defensive. Certainly being defensive about their position. But this also shows, social distancing and people being very assertive. That's assertion, assertive about, now we have actual school systems that are in opposition to their state's governor down in Florida, banning mask mandates, and the schools are saying, fuck it, we're going to protect our kids. So, there's just this insane fuckery going on. And at the bottom here we have practicality, moon in Capricorn. Oh my God. All right. Moon representing security, and Capricorn is duty and perseverance. Above, a rustic scene represents order and practicality with ruler and servants, tillers of the soil and millers of wheat. Below, a pattern alludes to worker bees and the moon lotus flowers that bring forth honey. Social work, practical assistance, recognition for patient and unassuming work, achievement through diligence. So the thing is, we've got to sublimate our own feelings in order to do what's right. And the moon in Capricorn has a difficult time. The moon in Capricorn is in detriment. That's what that position is called as far as planetary powers go. And it says that it's difficult to express emotional energy because we want to structure it. And emotional energy is not structured. Emotional energy flows. And if you dam it up, you're going to have a problem, right? It just says that I doubt my feelings, I restrict my feelings, I tend towards the negative, I tend to feel sort of insecure, or what makes me feel secure is structure. That's when I feel secure, structure and limitation. But here it's like we just need to be practical, we need to be diligent. Those of us that are willing to listen and do what makes sense, do what's practical, are going to have to be much more assertive about it. So here we have the social distancing, assertiveness about the choices that we make and the safety protocols we choose to follow. And then the last thing is practicality. This is the ultimate thing. It's not about your fucking feelings, people. It's not. It's about duty and responsibility. Those are the two Capricorn keywords. We have a duty to bring security. We have a duty to take care of the greater population. And now we're actually seeing doctors that are saying, I'm not going to treat people that refuse to get vaccinated and don't have a valid reason. I'm just not going to treat you. This is a disease that is preventable. You choose not to prevent it. It's not my job. And so, boy, is this whole thing with allowing doctors to say they won't treat people that don't go along with their philosophies, as far as you're a lesbian, I won't treat you. Boy, is that ever backfiring, huh? Be careful what you wish, folks. Because now, yes, doctors are allowed to say no, and they're going to say no to people that are being stupid medically, that are making stupid medical decisions. When before the issue was, am I allowed to say nobody because I say no to treating someone because I don't agree with their sexual orientation or their gender identity? Just fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Well, this deck is very interesting. Indeed it is. And it's one of those books where I think I'm going to read cover to cover, because when you're an astrologer, you're always taking in new information. Always, always, always. So I will be taking in a lot of new information. And again, thank you to Spirit Dreams in Grand Rapids. Shout out. Tell them Luna loves them. It really is a lovely little store. Lots of crystals, very nice light vibes, good products, lots of decks. I wasn't going to buy a deck that day. I was feeling proud of myself because I looked at all the decks and said, "No, I'm not going to spend money that way." And then I saw this deck and it was like, "Grab it now." So, anyhow, thanks for hanging out with me. And if you would like me to read for you on a video, buy me a deck. There's a wish list below. Pick one off of it. Send it to me. If you have a specific question, please include it in your note. And I will do that reading for you. Tell me if you want me to say your name or not, and what name you want me to say. I'll do whatever you want. Just put it in the note, right? And buy me a freaking deck. And if you really, really appreciate the work that I do, you can shoot me a donation. There's a couple of links to do that with, and I bless you for even thinking of it. No amount is too small. Thank you so much for your support. I will see you next time. Until then, it's Luna. Blessed be.